burning down pretty good now. Just wasted all this time and effort. Let's give this another shot. Hello, welcome back to another episode from Pale Horse Survival and Tactical. I'm Bill, glad you could join me. Today we're going to make a carving mallet. Stay tuned. Okay, so I harvested a piece of pine here, which is the predominant wood available in this forest. This is primarily a coniferous forest with some incense cedars. So that's the primary resource up here. I'm going to make a carving mallet, which I'm going to be doing some carving work. So I'd use those on chisels and wood chisels and gouges and things of that nature, and even some adze for dishing out bowls and concave depressions in wood. And I'll be working on that a little bit later on in future videos as the year goes on, but it doesn't have to be strictly for carving. You can make these any size. If you need a bigger one to pound wedges in to split logs or whatever, it depends on your the purpose you're going to use it for. This one's going to be decent size, but since I'm going to use it primarily for carving, I don't need it real super big. And since it is a, I want to catch on fire here, and since this is a softwood, being pine, I think I'm going to do a follow-up video on this to where we wrap it with rawhide, a big piece of rawhide, and then lace it on the backside to help protect the wood and so it'll last a little bit longer. They do tend to get beat up after a period of time when you use them. And when they get too bad, then you just throw them on your fire and build another one. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at this. I think we'll use this as the head of the mallet. I'm going to let some coals burn down back here. I have over here in the snow, I have some steak that I'm going to cook on the coals in a while for lunch. So we'll go ahead and get started on this. We have a storm coming in too, so I'm hoping it may start snowing on us here pretty soon. Hopefully I'm in frame there. It's very bright out here with all the snow, and it's makes seeing my viewfinder very difficult. On the camera there. Okay, so we'll figure out about how long. I think the head of the mallet would be about this long. Should be sufficient, and a handle. Be probably about here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Go ahead and cut this off right about here. Before I get all the way through this, I'm going to do a stop cut. So once we get this through, we'll flip this over and baton it. Actually, what I'm going to do is first, I want to square up the end of this. It's at a slant. I want to square the end of this up. So we got a slant here, and I want this fairly even on the end. Okay, that's a lot better. That'll sit nice and flush when we go to baton it. So this is going to be the end where the handle will be. So I want to determine how long I want my handle and how big I want the head of the mallet. So I'm thinking probably about here. Probably right about here would be good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put some stop cuts in here. Now the trick with this, you don't want to go too deep. You can always take wood off, but you can never put it back on. It's a general rule with woodworking. We're going to go in about an inch probably. Try to keep it fairly even. and I'll show you why we put a stop cut in there in just a bit. So now we can finish cutting this. Okay. Remember, this is the head here. This is the handle, and I want the handle a little bit longer. Gives you a little more leverage. I think this is a pretty good proportion. So we're going to put it on the head. Now remember, we have that stop cut. It goes all the way around, in about an inch around the circumference here. Trying to make sure I'm in frame there. Go ahead and baton down into that stop cut. That breaks off nice and clean there. We're going to work our way around this. Doing here is we're reducing the size of the handle, working it down. Now I've come to the end of the the stock cut here, so I'm probably going to have to cut a little bit more in. Just a little bit further. You want to determine how thick you want your handle to where it'll fit comfortably in your hand. We're just going to go a little bit at a time here. Shave a little bit more off, see how that works. Looks like I got people pulling in here on the trail. This isn't my usual camp. My bushcraft camp is buried in snow and inaccessible. It probably will be for at least another month. We have another storm coming in presently, and it's supposed to drop more snow. Just want to take it down a bit at a time here. Go ahead, and that's the general idea, to work the handle down. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera for a bit and get the handle down, worked down to a size that I want it, and then we'll go ahead and start working on the head. So stay tuned, I shall return. Here's the mallet. It came out pretty decent. It's a good fat handle. It's comfortable in the hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a follow-up video with this to where I'm going to wrap this in the striking surface in rawhide, and we'll lace it on, and that'll help preserve the wood from impact. But it's a pretty decent little mallet. Didn't take very long to fabricate. And now I'm going to let that fire burn down here in a little bit. We've got a storm coming in, starting to blacken up. It's going to start snowing pretty soon. But I brought some steak up here, so when that burns down to coals, I'm going to go ahead and cook up some steak, and then include you guys in on that with the cooking, and then I'm going to cook it primitively right on the coals, and then we're going to go ahead and conclude the video. Stay tuned. Alright, I've got a little area of coals right here. I'll go ahead and throw one of these on there, probably the biggest one. That'll sear both sides, it'll lock the juices in. I've cooked salmon, all types of meat directly on the coals, and it works really good. You just have to keep a close eye on it. And I make my improvised tongs from a fir branch. They have pretty close forks on them, and they make good tongs. I've been using this pair for a while. I use these for hot rock boiling technique, to pull hot rocks in and out of the fire, to move coals and stuff around, and also for flipping the meat. This steak won't take very long. Got a storm coming in, and it's going to be snowing. It's getting pretty nippy out here, so I'm leaving the fire go here. I had this little spot right here with the coals, and that little bit of charcoal on there will not hurt anything at all. Will not harm you at all. Charcoal is actually medicinal. It absorbs toxins, so in small amounts it's perfectly fine. This is not going to take long at all on this steak. I've cooked some pretty thick salmon fillets, about 1.5 inches thick. Those take a little while, about 12 minutes. I don't think this will take maybe 5 minutes. It's pretty thin. And it comes out really good with barbecue smoke flavor. Venison is really good in this manner. If you've never cooked venison like this, you're missing out. Whoa, dropped it down in the snow. There we go. Ooh, that's hot. about another minute. I see the steam coming off it already. Once it reaches about 160 degrees, you're good. If you're doing pork, I'd go about a 180 on pork. Storm coming in, probably going to drop. I wouldn't be surprised if it drops another foot of snow or so up here. About one more minute, I'm going to pull that. Still a little rare in the middle. I think I'm going to pop it back on for just a few. Steak will continue cooking for a bit once you pull it off. I usually like about a medium rare. To a restaurant one time and asked for medium rare, and they brought me a steak that literally looked like they put it in the frying pan for like 10 seconds per side. It was totally raw and the whole plate was full of blood. Like their conception of medium rare and mine was completely different. Burning down over here. I'll be able to put a piece on this side in a bit. Get some of this flame down. Well, it's been a beautiful day up here in the mountains. Might be just about ready. Damn it. Let's cut into this and see what we're looking at here. Oh yeah, that's a really good medium rare. Oh my God, that's good. Wow. You've never had steak cooked directly on the coals, you don't know what you're missing out on. Venison is unbelievable this way, but look how juicy this is. It's just running juice into the bowl. Searing it like that locks the juices in. It just gives it a really good charbroiled smoke flavor. Wow. Oh, that's good. And this is the last piece. Just took it off the fire. That is absolutely perfection. Well, thanks for joining me on today's episode, and I'm going to go ahead and finish the steak and enjoy the fire for a few and get ready to head on out of here. So I hope all of you enjoyed the episode as much as I did making it today. Please like, subscribe, and share. I hope all of you are having an outstanding day or night depending on where you're located, and I will see all of you very soon on the next one. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.